Hey everybody, this is God of War 2 Titan Mode, and I decided to commit to a purchase here. I wanted to get the Barbarian Hammer to level 2, and it really wasn't that much, although the final upgrade, as you saw there, is $1,700, or orbs, excuse me. So I decided to bite the bullet and commit to that purchase, and so my next purchase is undoubtedly going to be to get Kronos' Rage up to level 3. Why did I decide to use the hammer for the upgrade? Well, because it's just a great weapon. It's going to come in handy on a fight up in this area upcoming, and it's also going to be handy on Perseus. And it was only $4,500, and I have, almost $6,000 left. And I know the final upgrade of Kronos' Rage is rather expensive, but I did a little research and looked at my previous guide that I did to see how much how much distance I have from now between the translator sequence where I'm going to need the Kronos' Rage up to level 3, and it looks like it's pretty far away. So I think I can make enough money to get up to the requirement for that. And if not, oh well. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and just make a purchase. Just commit to something without hesitating any longer. Anyway, so these enemies here, these are called sylphs, and they you can't block their attacks, but you parry them. That's what you do. So when you see them glowing, about a half a second later, then hit the parry button and reflect their green balls back. These guys are pretty annoying, and these guys are prevalent in an area a little later on in the game where there's a bunch of traps on the floor after a huge-ass Cyclops battle. So up here, I'm going to be testing out my hammer, and it's really nice to have it on level 2. I would recommend upgrading it to level 2 at this point. It's only $4,500. It's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier, especially on these juggernauts that you're going to be fighting in here. Now, these guys, this is the first form of these juggernauts in here, and admittedly, they're not tough, but they get to be pretty damn tough on the Loom Chamber, and this is really good practice for the Loom Chamber fight because the first wave in the Loom Chamber fight is strictly, I think it's the lesser forms of these undead soldiers plus the Hades juggernauts. So those guys have a ton of HP, and these guys have a decent amount of HP. But as you can see here, the attacks with the triangle button take these guys down pretty quick. And there's one more juggernaut that spawns. And the only attack that I use with the hammer is the triangle button. It's a really heavy blow, and it doesn't commit you to... it just seems like it's the opposite. It's like the Blades of Chaos, the button that commits you to something pretty uncancelable as a triangle button. With the hammer, it's kind of the opposite. So it's just a different thing to notice. You also cannot roll when you have the hammer, so it's good to practice with this hammer to quickly just put it away and then roll with the blades. So this sequence down here is just pretty self-explanatory. This video is going to be including everything up to the Perseus boss fight, and I remember that guy was pretty tough for me. And back when I first did this guide, I only had the hammer up to level 1, and I don't recall if I even used the hammer very much on him, but I knew that it's a good tool to have on him. So this is just me having a blast, parrying and ripping people's heads off. I just love this part of the game. It's really fun. Once you get the ability to parry, I guess there could be an argument for, is the game too easy with the ability to parry? In some respects, yeah, it does make it really easy, but when I first got the ability to parry, like when I first started ever playing this game, I wasn't good at it. I didn't know how to use it very well. But now it's at the point where I just stand still, like right there, and just let these enemies come to me and just parry. It's really good. Parrying is so essential in this game. It's going to save your life. So just always parry and just get good with that hammer, because you're going to need to get good with it very quickly. So you need to step on these pressure switches, these little these rocks that serve as pressure plates. And then, as you can see, there's a treasure chest to the right there. You need to grab that now and not later, because if you grab it now, you can just run back and you won't lose much progress. If you grab it at the very end, you're going to have to do the whole sequence over again. So just hit this pressure plate, and then you don't need to slow down time. In fact, you can't slow down time, but you can make it over. And you see I'm just running, made it back. So here you do need to slow down time. And I'm going to be slowing down time on the upcoming battles over here, just because we have the Hades harpies, and they're pretty damn difficult. Mixed in with some undead soldiers. So slowing down time, and just these guys are just so problematic. And there is a chest with health and magic once you clear this area. But if you have less than half of your health and magic, it's not going to fill you all the way up. And also, I wanted to mention that when you're playing God of War, if you keep dying, they give you a little sliver of your health back every time, even on Titan mode. So if you're ever in a situation where you think you're screwed, just keep restarting and keep dying or letting it die, and you will get a small portion of your health back. It's not. Sometimes it gives you like almost all of it back, little by little by little, but most of the time it doesn't give you all of it back. But it does. You do get your health back little by little. It's pretty good, even on Titan mode. I was really surprised that they even granted you that little luxury on Titan mode, on this very hardcore mode where some of the chests give you 0 orbs, you know. So just keep grabbing harpies. I just really hate these harpies, just because they do that flame attack on the ground. So hit this pressure. Oh, I thought that guy was gone. Anyway, hit the pressure switch here once he is gone, and then you're going to be able to run all the way to the entrance where Perseus is. He's not a very difficult boss, but he can be problematic because at first you're fighting him and he's completely invisible, you know. So you can make it all the way back over there. Just cross this branch. You can roll if you want to expedite things, and just get these 2 chests. Then we're going to open the door and slay Perseus. But I also wanted to mention before this video ends is that we're going to be returning to this area after we kill him and acquire a very cool and valuable Easter egg.